Hello, I'm John Byrne, the Chief Marketing Officer at Gould & Ratner LLP in Chicago. We're proud to talk to you today about trends in legal marketing for 2021. To kick us off is Jason Klicka. Jason, take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jason Klicka. I'm the Marketing and Business Development Manager at HMB Legal Counsel in Chicago. So we're talking about trends and sort of what we're doing in our firms for 2021. I think that's an interesting question because, I'm thinking about 2021 as we're going to have distinct halves, the first half and the second half as things kind of continue to transition. So in the short term, I'm still focused on digital business development. Today that looks a lot like the Zoom meetings, right? So, I think about these things and I'm always trying to find a creative way to connect clients and prospects, but also recognize that people are pretty, good at Zoom, but also getting tired of it. So how do you keep these things fresh? And, how do you provide experiences that are exciting and in some way something that you wouldn't be able to offer to somebody normally? One example is I found a guy in Tokyo to lead a traditional Japanese tea ceremony, right? So I'm sending people the tea kit, the pot and everything. And then afterwards it's the networking session. But what I really like about that is it's really memorable, right? And I feel like there's a story that you can tell after that. And when you do, hopefully you'll think of HMB, right?
So interesting. All right. Well, we're going to go around the room, so to speak, first, and then we'll dive into some other trends too. So I'll move next. We'll sort of go around my screen. So John Albrighton from Neil Gerber Eisenberg.
Hi, as John said, I'm John Albrighton, Director of Marketing and Business Development, Neil Gerber Eisenberg. In thinking about what Jason just said, I would say, in a similar vein is the rise of digital over the past 11 months, as many of us went to full work from home environments, both for our clients and our attorneys, is the importance of identifying things that people are comfortable doing. And people have certainly got more comfortable with Zooms and webinars and things like that. And then I think we've all heard the discussion of fatigue. So one of the trends that that I think is important and people are seeing is identifying both interesting topics, but then the digestible length. We've done some work with some sort of very discrete topics. One attorney talking to the screen about one topic and really keeping it narrowly focused so it's digestible. So it could be anything from 90 seconds to 2 minutes, or maybe towards 5, 10, 15 minutes, but really less than that ideally, so that people stay engaged. And knowing, while there is a general acceptance now to more video, and I think that's a great thing for all of us as legal marketers, wow, there's lots we can do with video. We have to meter that and manage it a little bit and make it digestible, because it is an opportunity. But the last thing you want to do is lure someone in, they're interested in seeing a video, and then they look down at the bottom and it's like 24 minutes. And so really identifying not just interesting topics, but that length. And really, to a certain degree, I guess the great thing is make them wanting more and make them picking up the phone to call that person, or, at the end, clicking on, for us, nge.com and looking for that attorney so that they can have a follow-up discussion over email or phone. So that digital piece, I think, is important, Jason. And I would agree with how do we make that happen, whether it's an event or a subsequent business topic that someone would be interested in.
Okay, well, thanks, John. So this particular escapade that we're in the middle of is going to be probably, if you would call a 30-second to 2-minute a bite or a snack, this will be a little bit more of a meal, but we promise we won't go over about 8-10 minutes. Sure. So Megan, what's going on at Clark Hill?
Sure. Hi, Megan McCowan, Director of Business Development at Clark Hill. One of the things that we're focused on, it goes along the lines of what Jason and John both have mentioned at this point. Turning that idea of digital Zoom meetings, events and seminars, but really listening to the voice of the client and understanding more about what the client is truly interested in. I think now that we have gone through almost a year of this pandemic, understanding where our clients are. Some are still running around with their hair on fire. Some have kind of settled into things. Some have kind of moved on beyond the pandemic and the urgency around that. So understanding where our clients are is really where we're investing a lot of our time and effort and energy in 2021. And how we do that is by informal client check-ins, by formal client feedback interviews, and by just asking our clients where they're at. How are we doing? How do you feel about different things? What's keeping you up at night? What we do with that information, though, is we have each one of our attorneys coming back to us and reporting out on those informal client feedback check-ins that they're engaging in. And we track all of that information in our back-end portal so that we are able to eventually report out on what the voice of the Clark Hill client is saying. And that's really where our focus has been.
Interesting. So I'm going to go around the horn real quick and ask you to answer the following question would be, what one piece of advice would you have to a fellow legal marketer at another law firm, not revealing anything proprietary, obviously, but given what you see as the future of legal marketing in 2021, maybe even a little beyond, what will one piece of advice be? So we'll start backwards this time. So Megan, you go first.
I would say my one piece of advice would be, don't be afraid to ask the questions. There's a lot of reluctance and challenge behind encouraging attorneys to actually have some conversations with their clients. And so we just need to be not afraid to ask our attorneys to do that. And then our attorneys in turn need to be not afraid to actually reach out and ask the client the questions. Just like it's always good to have somebody show interest in you, our clients feel the same way. And when we show off the books, off the billable hour interest in what they're doing, who they are, and what their interests are, that just further creates another relationship milestone for those clients and cements our own positioning with those clients as well.
Great. John, what about you?
I think a great piece of advice is, in this time that we've talked about still being remote, is to work towards efficiency. And so we talk a lot within our firm, both with attorneys and with my marketing team, in the idea of creating something once, but using it many. So whether it's a client alert or a presentation, find other platforms. There's lots of ways to distribute, whether it's LinkedIn, sort of merging it into a small presentation, whether you push it out through connecting through it through Twitter. There's just a lot of different ways we can use things, and we've been very successful. And you can really start anywhere. You start with a client alert that becomes a presentation that can be given sort of in a more direct manner to clients, or you have a client alert that turns into an earned media opportunity. All of these being supported by social media. I think it's important to remember, when you do something, the worst thing you can do is do it once and put it on the shelf. And we've actually pushed that mantra up all the way to our managing partner. When things are occurring, someone's working on something, he's sometimes our biggest advocate. He'll mention to people, don't forget to work with marketing on how else we can use this. So really, that mantra has carried its way all the way up to the heights of the firm. And we work to that almost on a daily basis, identifying how we can take something and make it more.
Great. Okay, Jason.
And I would agree with everything both of you just said. And I would add that a lot of times marketing to me is throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? Like, don't be afraid to get creative and to use the strengths you have. I'm a firm believer in strengths-based marketing and business development. So if your attorney, for example, is a really good writer and loves to write, then they should be writing articles right now. If they don't like doing that, but they're okay with speaking, then they should be doing webinars right now. So kind of go with the flow and go with what your strong suit is.
Great advice on all three counts. So that's about it for this little snippet of what's ahead in legal marketing in 2021. I wanted to thank Megan, Jason, and John again for doing this, and maybe we'll see you another time. Depends. Thanks, everybody.